You could say you were assaulted by that.
Yes.
So no, it was walk her walk. That's what the like big movement thing was. Walk her walk. So if you're curious about looking that up. So what's up? Absolutely, man. She probably just wants to check on you. All right, so keep your chapter 1 math notes. Right, in your math binder, those should be in plastic sleeves. Keep those. Everything that has a check mark on it, let's pull that stuff out. Good morning. Hi. You need a drum solo to personally wake up? Because I can give you a drum solo. I got my bongos over there.
Oh my god, this is best.
Can you walk around and bongo our class?
Yeah.
Especially Miss Hassan's like, what the heck is going on?
She's like, is he doing a drum
So
solo?
what were my directions I just gave? You probably don't know because you were asleep. You look that way. Pull out everything graded.
Again.
Everything graded.
Everything?
Everything that is graded, except for the mastery. Thank you for clarifying.
What about the mini map?
That can come out too. Everything graded except for the mastery. Keep it out. Keep it out.
Dang, I just organized how. Just
What?
organized this, yeah.
All right, here's your next goal, because we all work at different paces. You are going to create, I really need to move that in a different order. You are going to create this. Now I put those black lines there because it was kind of hard to tell that that was actually a folder. So here's what you're doing. Thank you, Katie, for never cleaning out your folder. So just like Katie did last year, you are going to put the sticky part of the Post-it down on your folder, either the front or the back, it does not matter, but the sticky part gets attached. The non-sticky part should stick up out of the folder, and then, this won't probably be there for most folders, this is just like an extra thing. In there goes only your graded work. Hopefully Katie's is graded. Yep, there's a check mark over there. So the only stuff that goes in here is graded work. So at your table, in your bins, there are Post-its. You can come up here and grab whatever color of folder you want. They're just going to hang in my filing cabinet back there. What, the mini mastery? Yeah, we said we never put that in math, so it's graded. It can go. It can go in the file folder. So guys, come on up here, grab one of these. If it's got a Post-it, take it off. If it was somebody like Katie and they left their Post-it on, you can take it off and recycle it. If there are papers in it, just recycle those too. Your mastery. Yeah. Okay. You can probably go ahead and organize right now. So exactly what you pull out your math binder. I'll help you with it so you can go real fast. You can just have that folder, and then we'll get you a Post-it.
You pull out these name tags that are.
Yeah, those are unnecessary. I can just take those. The Post-its are better. Trust me. Yep. So if there's old stuff, pull it all off. We'll recycle it. My recycling bin's up here. It's actually up here today. I left it up here. For what? Did somebody not follow directions last year? Patrick!
Patrick Scar. He didn't follow directions. So you just put it in?
So. Hey, Charlotte, go pick it up. So, Sammy, please stop talking. You are putting your Post-it in your folder, but so that it sticks out to make a tab. You are then writing your name on that tab. It doesn't really matter if you put a letter group or anything else, but you can. Then, you can take out all of just math. Just to clarify, I'm only doing math. Just math, stuff that is graded. Now, Liam is thankfully giving me a good example. If you leave your Post-it this high up, that would be great for finding your folder until it gets shredded in the drawer, because this will, every time the drawer goes in and out, hit the top. So you do not want to leave that much of your Post-it sticking up, just enough that like you can see it and tell who it is. Because if you leave too much up, it's gonna get ripped. That's perfect. Then, done and graded practice work goes in it. It should be in order if you want to keep it looking nice. So every time we get in it, it's in order. And it goes back here. I would, if I was you, just have us at the back of the drawer. Since 1A was the front of the drawer, I would put ours at the back of the drawer to keep our classes just kind of separated. Yeah, but I mean, as long as you know that yours is different, since you took it out at the beginning, I have no reason to say no. So. Emily, what are you looking for? I did not make you one. You're making your own. Are you completely not listening to the words coming out of my mouth? So, I'm not here to repeat myself today. Figure out what you're doing or ask a friend. And you're going to get the assigned seat. Sure looks good to me. And then you stick it in there where you know it is. Oh, I kept 111 from everyone. I kept your 111 because you wrote about yourself. Right? I kept those. I took notes on them. I shared them with the other teachers. We'll give them back to you either at the end of the year or at the beginning of next year so you can like look at what you wrote and probably kind of laugh at it. Yes, Caleb? So your mini mastery, yes. Keep the chapter mastery out. So everybody, once your folder's back there, should have the chapter mastery sitting in front of you. Should have the chapter mastery sitting in front of you. Now hold up, everybody pause. Because give me your eyes. Give me your eyes. If you are done with your file folder and you're about to start looking at your mastery revisions, like we'll do this in a second, mastery revisions always go on graph paper. So if you have questions wrong that need fixed, you're gonna need a piece of graph paper. So that would be a good next step when you drop your folder back there, when you put it in the drawer, get a piece of graph paper and bring it back to your desk with you. Okay, anybody need help with their folder? If you need help figuring out the folder, because you already take care of all that. NF means needs finished. Most of you got NFs or Ps. Yep, so not right this moment. We'll probably have time at the end of class. So those of you with a see me, guys, Charlotte, do you need a different seat? So, if it says see me for mastery, guys, I don't know why some of you like try to avoid teachers. We're on the same team. We're trying to make it quicker for you. So if we know what you did wrong and we can chat with you really quickly about it, you don't have to put effort in on your own. Just come see us. Now, if you try to fix it on your own and you're successful, you might be able to get away with not seeing us, but it's probably faster if you come see us when we say see me. So, NF means needs to finish. Finish it, right? P means progressing and you need to correct mistakes. Here's the deal. Give me your eyes. Max, give me your eyes. Emily, give me your eyes. If you are finishing the test, that is allowed to be on the test. Because I probably marked the questions. Charlotte, your eyes are not on me. I probably marked those questions with question marks. So like Sammy was absent yesterday, right? Sammy has a bunch of question marks on her test to say you need to do these problems. It would be silly for Sammy to do all of that on graph paper when she's got plenty of space on the test paper. But if you already wrote a bunch on your test paper and you want to finish your test on your graph paper, that's fine. Corrections have to be. Corrections must be on graph paper stapled to the front. So if you have an NF or P or some combination of the both, get a piece of graph paper right now. Like literally get up and get graph paper right now. Quit acting like you all mastered. I know what you got. Go get graph paper or get it out of your binder. Because we're going to label this. We're going to give it a header together. NF or P or anything that you need to like do, anything not mastery. If you didn't get mastery, so if you just have see me for mastery, you need to come see me. So you don't probably need graph paper. Probably fine. Your mastery correction sheets. This is your last chance. Do you need a new seat? Every time I look, you guys are like goofing around having a good time. Sammy's behind because she missed yesterday. I really need you guys listening today. Guys, if I haven't brought this up yet, other schools, math gets an hour or an hour and a half. How long do I get? 45 minutes. Like barely 45 minutes. I need every minute. I have no patience for wasted time. Yes. Yes. So your mastery revision should tell what chapter it is. Should have first name and last name. Guys, we're going to start handing back papers that don't have last names and say try again. There are so many repeat names this year. Even if you're not a repeat name, you'd be surprised how at 10:30 at night when I'm grading, for some reason my brain glitches out and I can't remember Emily's last name. Just using you as an example because you weren't listening earlier. The reason I want your paper on the front of your test, I want your new grade on the front. Right? I want your new grade to be the thing you see when I hand you this back. So then, yeah, I've been talking too much today. You obviously won't have every number on here. Just the numbers that you need to redo. So if I needed to redo 7, I'd write 7, I'd show my work, I'd have all the math, I'd maybe have like some number at the end, yay, and maybe I'd circle it. But then, like, make my job easier if you would, and, like, section things off, right? Say, like, that's all of number 7. Now I'm doing number 9, right? And then maybe we, like, section that off. It doesn't have to be, like, super clean and pretty, but I would like it to, like, not be difficult to figure out what problem is where. Questions on the revisions paper. Separate graph paper on the front of your test. Any questions? Max, where do revisions go?
Revisions go.
On what?
Oh, on the front. On the front.
And on graph paper.
Oh yeah, I was doing on graph.
Right? Isa, where's corrections go? On graph paper. Bianca, where's corrections go? On graph paper. I should not have to repeat myself a million more times this year.
Got confused when you said revision.
Graph
Correct.
paper. Yeah, so fix, revision, correct, whatever. Sometimes there will be an assessment called a follow-up, which is like a retest, right? I don't really like the phrase retest because it's a follow-up. It's like we're following up the other assignment.
Interruption. Would Charlotte Robertson please report to the main office? Charlotte.
Absolutely
Robertson,
not.
main office, please.
Unacceptable. All right, well, we're losing Charlotte, but it is time. Charlotte, I'll probably go ahead and like fill out one of these for you and put your notes in sleeves. So just get stuff from me when you get back later, okay? Good luck. I kind of need to go to the orthodontist too. My bottom teeth, I think, are moving. Clip that in your binder. Your graph paper with your mastery, unless your mastery's already mastered, like it has an M. If your mastery has an M, you don't need to revise. You can actually file that away if you want. If your mastery already has an M, you do not need to revise. You could file that away. We did not do that yet. The next thing, Get 2 plastic sleeves if you don't have any in your binder. Get 2, like the page protectors. Do not sleeve these yet. We're gonna highlight these.
You piled them right here.
If it's mastered, you can like back in the drawer file it or anything. Or if you want to keep it in your binder as a reference page, like you can keep it in your binder. I don't mind. Guys, you never have to clean out your binder. Like if you want to keep extra stuff in there, that's up to you. But I'm just giving you the option to carry around less stuff. Put your name on your math notes. The order that I'm giving them to you in is the order you should try to keep them in. Doesn't matter a whole lot. There's only 2 pages this time. But put your name on your math notes. We will put them in sleeves when we're done with these, but we're going to highlight a little bit first. What is this chapter about? Yeah, you are correct. Liam? Fractions and integer addition. So the first thing we should probably remember is sort of how we work with fractions.
Could I please have Gage keys to the office? Gage.
They're taking my whole class. All right, Gage, I'll do this for you too. If you are just being an artist right now, please control yourself because we're going to highlight some important vocab. Remind yourself that mixed numbers involve a whole number and a fraction. Right? A whole number and a fraction. However, what I often like better, what do we call a fraction with a bigger number on top? Improper, which I've always felt was a mean name. It makes it feel like something's wrong with it. Because improper, like, guys, improper fractions are awesome. Because they're easier to multiply, and they're oftentimes easier to add and subtract, and they're definitely easier to divide. So they're better because they're easier in most situations. I will admit, on your mastery, bless you, on your mastery, you didn't have to use improper fractions, and you could have subtracted whole number from whole number, fraction from fraction. You could have on the mastery. Now, for integers, I got a memory trick nickname. Integers are positive and negative whole numbers, but guys, I got a better memory trick. And 0, right? I got a better, bless you. Are you allergic to math? You're allergic to integers, aren't you? As soon as we started talking about integers, guys, integer, sound it out, integer, entire number. No decimals, no fractions, no portions, just entire values. If Mason owes me $5, that's -5. Right? If Mason gets $5, that's +5. Both of those are integers. But if Mason spends half of his time, like 1/2, not an integer. Right? -0.3, not an integer. 8,472. Yep, that works. It's an entire number. 8,472.6? Nope. Integers are entire numbers. Question. Integer, entire number.
So it's like you have to have like a whole number. You can't have any like point.
Exactly. No decimals, no fractions. I'm glad after I said it enough times you were like, oh, like it finally sunk in. I like that we got there. I don't know what to tell you to highlight here, except for we could almost maybe, I might. It's the bad word. This is how you make multiplication easier. Oh, yeah.
It started with a Q.
Yeah, Cubert.
Cuba.
So, here's how generic rectangle, I don't know why we call it generic rectangle. It's like, oh, it's not the name brand. I don't know. Generic rectangle says, take your multi-digit numbers, which are obviously a little scary. Guys, if you walk up to somebody on the street and even say, what's 67 times 4? It's going to take them a moment, especially if you say 67 times 46. Like, no one probably knows that. But break it apart, right? Break your 67 into 60 and 7. Break your 46 into 40 and 6. Remember, and always means addition. And then do the multiplication broken up. We will practice this through the chapter, but like here's your example to remind yourself, because 60 times 40 is 2,400. 40 times 7, guys, this works like Battleship, right? In case you don't remember this from elementary. So like down here, this box is from the 6 and from the 7, right? It's kind of like Battleship. This box, the 360, is from the 6 and the 60. What's that? Yes, I think there is now. Go ahead and read the next box, and I'm going to randomly call on a couple of you to help tell me what these things are. Oh, we haven't used cards in what feels like a while. Already called on you today, actually. Grace, what is the additive identity? Yeah. It is the wonderfully disappointing thing that adults like to do when they say, oh, I'll pay you for helping me. And you're like, really? And they're like, yeah, I'll pay you nothing. And you're like, not funny. Well, I mean, that would not work for this situation. But like, if somebody pays you nothing, what happened? Nothing, right? Like everything stayed the same. So if Liam had $3 and I paid him $0, he still has $3 and he's probably mad at me because I said I paid him. Not necessarily true. Sammy, what is the additive inverse? Read the paper. Oh man, that didn't work. It's literally the first. Yeah, the additive inverse of a number is its opposite. So the additive inverse is a number's opposite. For example, you get handed $3 and then you go spend $3. Or you owe somebody $5 and you pay them back, right? We get back to 0. The additive inverse, additive identity. And then we'll do more with the back and everything as we keep going, but now you can probably go ahead and sleeve these. Right, go ahead and put these in sleeves, clip them in your binder. I'm going to sleeve these for Charlotte and for Gage. I would keep them in this order. So guys, page 1 is the one that says math notes. Page 2 is fraction decimal percent. I would just keep them just page 1, page 2. Well, really, page 1 and 2, and then page 3 and 4. But. If you don't have sleeves, go get them. Front of the room, back of the room. Front of the room, back of the room. What block is this class period?
2B.
1B. I just heard a lot of not correct answers. We are in 1B right now. This is something I'm stealing from Mr. Hall. So you will be ready for it when you get to 8th grade math, and this is what he does, and you'll be like, oh, we did that last year because Hudson stole that.
Yeah, guys.
There's an expression in teaching called beg, borrow, and steal. Meaning like whatever you need to do whatever you gotta do.
Did you get new shoes?
I did. Thanks, Sammy.
Who did?
They're called Zero shoes, which, you know, is ironic with me being a math teacher, but they're spelled Xero. This is not an advertisement for Zero shoes, but if you'd like to give me some free shoes, I'll take some free shoes.
You know the other shoes that you have, like the ones that
My Nobles?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My dad kind of bought them. I was like, those are Mr. Hudson shoes.
They're sweet. Does he like them?
What?
Does he like them?
Yeah, that's why he bought them.
Nice. All right, anyone want to read? Mason, you want to hit us with the first sentence there and the first 2 bullet points?
On the practice effort.
Yep, on this form I just gave you guys. Everyone should have a name, and your paper should say 1B. I'll change that for Charlotte.
Practice assignments of math are checked for effort and completion on a daily basis, 2 days after they are assigned. So do I read the bullet points?
Yep, go ahead and hit both those first 2 bullet points.
Alright. Making the effort to keep up with the daily assignments, having them completed when they are due, is extremely important to you being successful in math. Making your best effort on the assignments allows you to ask authentic and timely questions about topics you may not understand yet.
Guys, some of you, I could see it on your face like reading a book. You were mad at yourself yesterday. Disappointed, whatever word you want to put on it. You sure didn't look happy with yourself, even though you were allowed to, not everybody, but like, you know, if I'm talking to you, that like your math notes, you hadn't really used them this chapter, so they weren't really that beneficial for you.
Good morning, Phoenix. At the class change, could I please see Michael Thompson in the office for just a moment? Michael Thompson, please stop by the office at the class change. Thank you.
Your practice work maybe wasn't checked, and if your practice work wasn't checked, like from you, especially those last 3 assignments that I didn't check, it was kind of pointless to try to use it on the test if you didn't know if what you did was right. Right, so this chapter, like we talked about a little bit, we're going to change how we check homework. It's still going to be 2 days. Caleb, you with me? So homework that is assigned tomorrow, 211 is technically tomorrow's homework. You have at least 2 days. And guys, that homework is actually going to be an extended homework because it's a little bigger. So we won't technically be checking 211 until Monday. So this is really going to start Monday, right? The new homework process. However, what we're going to do today is set our goal of what is the minimum that you'll accept from yourself. And I would not write down the minimum. I'd maybe push a little bit more than that. But like on this goal setting format, and either Mason can keep reading or somebody else can read for us, here's how we get our points to calculate our percentages. So anyone want to tag in or want Mason to keep reading? All right, Emily, you want to tag in?
I'll give it a shot. Assignments are checked as follows. Completed the assignment showing how you find the same answer equals 2 points. This means you've tried each of the problems, showing that you did attempt what you did to attempt them. It does not mean you got everything correct.
It what?
It does not mean you got everything correct.
It what?
It does not mean you got everything correct.
Guys, wrong answers are good. Now, wrong answers that you never go back and fix are not very good. But when we check our homework, it doesn't have to be all correct. Now, by the time you turn it in, hopefully you cared enough to fix it so it's worth something to you. Like if you're allowed to use it on a test, you know it's right. But when we check it, you don't have to be right. Second bullet point.
Assignment not completed but is half finished equals 1 point.
So half finished really means like, you know, you have questions not finished. We're not talking half like actually like 0.5. Like, we're talking just, it's not all the way done. You didn't put in all of the effort. Maybe you forgot to do the last question because you ran out of extensions, or maybe you gave up on effort because whatever. And then our third bullet point that we want to avoid.
Assignment is less than half completed, missing, forgotten, etc. equals 0 points.
So guys, most of my assignments have 5 questions. Like that, and like that's intentional. Most of my assignments have 5 questions. 2-1-1 has more. That's why this will be a longer assignment. But like, so if there are 5 questions, for us to get that 1 point, we should probably have at least like 3 of them done. Right? So if you don't even attempt 3 of the 5 questions, you're probably getting 0 points. So we're going to set a percent goal for ourselves. Obviously, if we got all 2s, like every single day, we could get 100%. But do you think that every single day you will put in all of the effort needed? Like, probably maybe not. Like, it's great if you want your goal to be 100%, but realistically, like, be realistic, would 95, like, make you happy? Like, if you did 95% of your homework on time this chapter, or what about 90? Right, what about 85? Now, if we start to get down into, like, the 70 or 75%, guys, if we were at a letter grading school, 70% is not good. Yeah, like, so a 70% chance of rain, you're like, oh, it's probably going to rain, 70%. But 70% for, like, academics, not. That means you let go of 30%. Right? Like, 30% of the time, you didn't care. You didn't try it. Like, so decide what you want. So go ahead and write chapter 2 here. We're in chapter 2. What is your percent goal? What do you want to hold yourself accountable for? And then our first homework will be 2.1.1. And I'm going to bring that around to you right now. The rest of this class period, which we have only like 3 or 4 minutes, you can work on your revisions for the mastery. You can work on finishing the mastery. This gets clipped in your binder probably just like with your homework section, right? So that we'll look at every single day. Or you can start on 2-1-1. Sorry about that. Like if you're mastered on the mastery, so like Sammy, you need to work on the mastery to finish it, right? Make sure your name is on that goal setting sheet that we just did. Hey.
After you're done, I think I do have a question.
Max, now where do revisions go?
Revisions, we put them on the front of the master
On what kind of paper?
graph.
Yeah, I'm a little worried. I can't tell if you have graph paper out right now yet or not.
Oh no, the graph paper is empty.
Ah, okay. Everyone have 2-1-1? I got this handed to everyone. Xavier, did you get one of these?
Yeah.
Did I somehow miss you over here?
No, I mean, I know.
Okay.
So when is this due?
So 2-1-1 is not going to be due. So if it's really assigned for tomorrow and Thursday,
26.
when will 2-1-1 be due? Well, what would 2 business days, like where would we get? What is it? Monday. Right, so 2-1-1 would be due Monday because we did not get to any of the lessons. So guys, it's not tonight's homework. Tonight's homework is finish and fix your mastery. You don't have to do 2-1-1. But then I don't have to pass those out tomorrow. And class can start more quickly. Yes?
Are we not here Friday?
We are. I just haven't written anything there yet because I'm not sure what's going on yet. I don't know if I'll get done with 2-1-1 even by Thursday. 2-1-1's a bigger lesson because it's the start of the chapter. So instead of making it 2 different lessons, they were just like, hey, it's one big lesson. Which I kind of wish they'd broken it up because it would make more sense in my brain. But okay, see me. So because we're about to head to lunch, guys, everything should be clipped in your binder. Oh, and I forget if I showed this. Your binder organization can be whatever you want now.
It can be.
As long as you can explain it to me. So if you like to keep the homework you need to do up front and the done homework in the back, that's one thing I've heard from a lot of you, totally fine, right? If you have like 2 different homework sections, like your math notes are in sleeves and they can kind of like split your binder up of like what's in front of them, what's behind them. Your chapter 1 math notes should still be in there. But if you have a C meet, that should happen at AO or extensions, or even potentially like lunch or like before school starts in the morning when I'm out by the family room. But for today at lunch, I gotta run to NTB. My car has a nail in the tire, so I gotta go drop it off and grab my wife's car. I pumped it back up. It should be fine. And if it's not, it's 2 miles away. Well, I mean, I gotta get the car there. But so I'll be back in like 10 or 20 minutes. But like lunch today might not be an option, but it is time for us to go to lunch. Yeah. Sorry, my ring is in my pocket because I washed my hands and I forgot to put it on. Yes, I am married. Let me guess, you're surprised that somebody said yes to me, aren't you? Because I'm just such a nerd.
I'm not surprised. I'm surprised my dad got someone. He was the nerdiest nerd out there.
Hey, remember, I'm recording right now, so be careful what shade you throw at your dad.
He's my favorite, but he's the best. He's my bestie. My dad's pretty good.
Okay, so a very quick question I have. So you know how I didn't label the numbers on the number line for my
Hold on, let me stop this recording.